Okay, we are fine. And now it should complain about the missing controller. So the main view always has a reference to main controller, and the main controller has reference to the main view. The user is never going to see this, so I'm just putting something there. Okay. We are done with that one. So how about the show? I'm just going to use composition here. Like I could extend from the JFrame, but then the main controller would see all the methods in JFrame, and it's easier to test tool like this. Okay. I'm not using a mock here because, well, I'm not using the controller, so I might use the real thing as well. And I'm using injection here. So I just set the main frame. It was already set in the constructor, but I want to mock this, so that's the reason I need this separate method. And I'll make it protected so that no one else calls it. It's kind of for testing only, at least for now. So let's mock it. Like that. And we want to verify that the frame is actually set visible and that nothing else is done to it. Okay. Yep, wanted but not invoked. Okay, let's use the method that we created. And we are done. Did we have other tests? Yes. The take control was not ready yet. So we have the view showing, but well, we don't have the model of this MVC pattern yet. So we need to get the model from somewhere. And well, it's maybe easiest to add a subcontroller to main controller that actually does the fetching of model. Well, if we had a database or something, that could also make our database connections and so. So we need to, I don't want to give it from outside. I want to create it in the main controller. And let's put this in the model package. And I make another constructor for testing, because I want to keep this field final, so I don't want to use injection. I don't want to always check whether this is null or not. This is something that I want to be there always. So now I want to change how I create the controller, so I won't be needing to set up anymore, because I want to use the default data controller in that other test and mock the data here. Like that. So we don't want extra interactions again, but we do want some interactions, like well, it could be like connecting to database, but well, we don't have database, so let's make it just fetch model. I'm just going to create some dummy model here, so we can get the whole model view controller pattern at place, but empty, like a skeleton at this point. So now we can call the fetch model, and we can store the model. Controller has a reference to the model. So let's create the model class. And well, this is not actually the model, like the lowest level model object, so I'm calling it model container. Oh, I renamed it, so it doesn't exist. Yep. And well, I just need to save. Yeah, I need to add the type. Let's skip that, so we don't forget to continue. Okay, so I'm using those to-dos and failing test cases as my guide, so I don't forget to do stuff. Okay. So next we want to make sure that the updates to the view happen in the event dispatch thread. It's quite important when you are doing Swing applications. The first show is okay, because well, you don't have to be in event dispatch thread when you create the view and show it, but when it's shown, after that it's very important to call it from event dispatch thread. And what we want to do here is we want to show the model in the view. So we first just show the view, then in the background we fetch the data. It may take a long time to get it, and then we show the model to the user, so that the user has at least the empty screen with maybe some progress indicator while he's waiting for the real data, if he has to wait. Okay. Well, maybe I should leave the to-do, so I'm not going to implement this now, but just leave it like it. Okay, now we have to invoke that. but now it's in the same thread, and that's something we don't want. We want it to another thread, and to do that it's probably easiest way to make a little helper class for our main view. So I'm not using a mock, and I'm not using the real view, but our own test view. And the only purpose of this test view is to check that whenever it is called, the calls come from event dispatch thread. Going to extend the main view. Yeah, I forgot the class, and I have some extra parentheses. Okay, that's fine. We are just going to override the show model. That's what we are going to test here. We are fine with the regular show being in outside event thread. Okay. And by default, this is not called from event thread. It needs the controller. And now we need some way to check that it was. Yeah, remove the Mockito stuff and assert that main view. Oh, it must be of that type. Was called from event thread. And it must be true. Okay. Let's see this fail. Expected true got false. So I'm using Swing utilities to run stuff in event thread, and I'm doing an anonymous inner class here where I'm going to put the stuff that needs to be run. So I'm extending runnable here. Okay, but it's still false, and that's because the thread just runs in the background, and so we need to get the system to wait. So I'm using a robot for the event dispatch thread. We can always throw the unnecessary exceptions out of the test cases. Okay, now it works. How did it catch that? It should be too fast for it. I think we need the verify there also, and the robot to make sure that it does not fail like every now and then. Any model container will do. Okay, extra parentheses. Main view show model, that is any model container. And we must wait for it to be idle. Okay. I think we are about done here. We have the main controller now. It has the view, it has the model, and we have the application, clean and small. We have some draft for data controller and the model, and we have the view. So let's run our tests. Nothing forgotten, and I'm using Echo Emma for the coverage, and we are having nice coverage of over 90%. Yeah, just the mine is left untested. That's nice. Thanks for watching.